item that came up during the 2010 election. During 2009, the city expended several $1,000s on a campaign to raise the profile of Councilman Ferry, which was called the Mayor Dude campaign. And there was a complaint at that time to the district attorney's office asking whether we had broken the law. Obviously, someone in the city doesn't understand that this is not right, and so let me find out if it is okay, because I don't want to make a problem if this is okay, if what we're doing is okay. Is it okay or isn't it okay? So I talked to Mr. Huntsman at the district attorney's office, and in the conversation, he says that they chose not to prosecute that case, but that he couldn't rule on the law about whether it was breaking the law or not. And I asked him, well, who would I ask? And he said, well, you should ask your city attorney. And so, Mr. Montez, I am going to ask you for an explanation of, is this okay or isn't it? Have we broken the law or haven't we?
In terms of a violation, in order for there to be a violation that the DA would prosecute, there has to be an intent component, which means the person responsible for the ad has to have the intent to violate the mass mailing prohibition. Mayor Ferry was not aware at the time which publications were going to include this, so he did not have the requisite intent. With regard to other staff, staff knew that they were not allowed to send items out. They were not aware of the non-subscription publication application, so they didn't have the requisite intent either. So at that time, there was no violation.
I would like then to ask my fellow council people if they would be in favor of agendizing an item which would stop us from using taxpayers' funds in the year prior to an election for any city council person for purposes of publicity. I have before asked the council if they would consider a rule by which we didn't allow a sitting mayor to be part of the campaign and try to have our mayoral picks be other than that, but that was not something that the council wanted to do. So I was wondering if there was any support for this.
So no law has been broken, actually. Isn't this the same kind of thing that was done with the milk and cookies, where it was an outreach to children, try to get young people involved in programs and things that were with the city? It was kind of a, try to reach a youth and do different things to try to get them involved in government a little bit.
Correct. As I've indicated, there aren't any legal issues or problems. It's completely legal to do the campaign or program that way.
Secretary always has a saying that's, the tiger doesn't care what the sheep says, but sometimes the sheep pokes the tiger when they're sleeping and they're trying to go out peacefully in a year to go off in the sunset, and the tiger wakes up and gets ticked off with the sheep. So right now the tiger's awake. Councilmember Boydston has brought a hateful tone to the city council, one which the freeness I now have over a year, not worrying about getting reelected or running again, it's going to be awesome that I get to speak my mind for a year. So I've been silent. Everyone says keep quiet, take the high road. I can't tell you how well it feels now that I can say exactly what's going to be on my mind. So if the sheep wants to keep poking the tiger, the last year he just wants to go out in a happy mode, then what I hear from the city attorney is, I'm going to announce today that I'll start an independent expenditure that will say Frank Ferry Committee. So no one's going to be able to say, who's this secret society? It's Frank Ferry, and I can raise money at $10,000, $20,000 chunks. It's the law. He's always concerned about the law. So I'm just letting everyone know that two things are going to happen. The sheep's going to keep poking the tiger when he's trying to gracefully go out, and the tiger's going to decide two things. Either start an IE and not run and just have a field day, or the Tigers are going to get ticked off and decide, am I allowed to still run? Can I still run for office?
Yes. you can
Okay.
still-
So anyone he's making great plans, replace my seat, I can ruin those plans a little bit still, right? So what I'm saying is, why would you bring up today the Mayor Do campaign that was an amazing program? That was only, I mean, here I have 22 years in education. Here I started the Blue Ribbon Task Force. Here I started VIP program. Here all I care about is youth in this community. And the sheep is going to say the mayor that year who won by 32 votes. Well, law had been broken, definitely a violation. That's what I want my legacy to be. That? No. The Tiger's awake. I get a year of saying what's on my mind. You have zero ability to collaborate or cooperate with your colleagues. That being said, and you know what? I know you want to get me this way. I love it. I feel good. I finally could go home feeling like, damn, I wish I could have said something, but everyone says take the high road. But I'm not going to run. So you getting me upset does nothing anymore because I'm not going to run. So I'm going to call you on everything for a year. So if you want to poke me and poke me and poke me or poke anyone out there, I am going to aggressively come back and tell the truth.
Is there conference centers in places like Stockton? Stockton have a conference
Who
center?
the hell wants to go to Stockton? I mean, that's my point. Who wants to go to Stockton? We're 15 minutes from LA, greater LA.
The point-
And a beautiful, I mean, Stockton.
My
That's who you're
point
gonna
being
compare
is,
Santa Clarita to?
my
Stockton?
point being is, just because a city has a conference center, whether they do or they don't, Los Angeles has a conference center. I don't think that our taxpayers and our citizens want us to emulate Los Angeles when it comes to what we do economically.
Mayor, can I call the question, please?
Honestly, I don't know where we're going to go with this dialogue. I would really like to have a vote if we could.
I will tell you what my exception to, what my
Up
exception.
40 minutes on this item.
What my exception to the item was, is that the recommended action is that we go out and pursue a public-private partnership, thereby putting a stamp of saying that this is something that we want to do. And I'm not sure that our taxpayers want us to do that until we see a proposal for us. If someone brings us a proposal, we should consider it.
But
I don't
saying
think that
kill
we
it
should be-
today, that is irresponsible. That's the same logic of we only have one
Yes.
hospital, let's not expand it. We don't want better libraries, let's not build them. I mean, I get you don't want any growth and you want us all to drive a horse and buggy. I get it. I appreciate it. You're very consistent. I'm saying is all they want to do is see what are the opportunities because they know we don't have the money today. They want to see what opportunities we have in the future. That's why I'm calling the question because nothing's coming out of this today. They agree. We all agree. It's too much money. So let's move on.
Well, once you call the question,
I
there's no
did
more
call the question.
discussion.
No, that's not correct. Once you call the.
When I call the question.
When you call the
Mayor,
question, and there is dissension for the discussion, am I wrong on this, Mr.
Well,
City
I
manager?
respectfully ask Mr. Boydson,
Well, I was
try to
trying
have a
to,
filibuster. I mean,
No, I was
how
trying-
long do we have to keep talking and talking and talking about this?
I was trying to make a point on behalf of the citizens
Well, I
that
thought you made
elected me. No, Mr. Ferry interrupted me, sir.
Please try to cover your point, and then let's have a vote.
Thank you, sir. I don't think we want to emulate other cities, and I think this is the wrong proposal. I think that when I say kill it, I mean kill this. This is a drain on the citizens of up to $5 million a taxpayer. It doesn't make any sense.
There is no project, for heaven's sakes. This is a concept. This is something that could happen. It is not happening because we have been very successful in making sure that our citizens and our taxpayers are protected and that we have a balanced budget, that we don't spend money that we don't have, and we have been an extremely responsible city. Our city staff, our city managers have been exactly that. All we're doing is saying, let's see what the possibilities are. You can't just kill something like that.
We have a motion and a second. City Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Ferry,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem West,
Aye.
Councilmember Boydston,
No.
Councilmember McLean,
Yes.
Mayor Keller.
Yes.
Thank you.